Hey everyone, it's Missy Dean, and today is one of my first attempts at doing op art. So I'm starting by making sort of these rectangular snake-like things that go around. I have to erase something. I should have been more careful, but handy dandy electric erasers. Okay. So you can see that some are in front, some are behind. They look like snakes now, but they're going to be a little bit more rectangular when I add some more details. I'm going to be filling each one out in different colors and by squares, so the top will be lighter than the dark, and they'll be alternating colors. So you can see that even on a sped up that, doing these lines takes some time. And this is a sped up video. Almost done. And you can see it looks more like rectangles in the air than cylinders already, just by adding these little lines. It changes the entire look. So I've chosen my colors, and I'm using a lighter teal, and I'm going through and I'm carefully filling out the top. My hand is not that steady, so if I make any little mistakes, I can go over with the white gel pen, but I'm trying my best to stay in the lines. Now you can see I'm going to go to a darker color, a darker version of the same color, basically a more intense color. And this is what I'm going to be doing to fill in each and every one of them. So I'm adding a nice teal, and there's orange. In between the blue. I like the way those two colors look against each other. And then a darker one for the bottom, so that you can see that there's a top and a bottom. Now I'm not quite sure if this is exactly op art. I'm having a hard time with this. To me it looks like it. It looks like things are floating in front of and behind, and that it looks like there's a surface, versus it looks more three-dimensional than two-dimensional. But this is not the easiest thing for me for some reason. So these are my first attempts. I've appreciated op art, but I've never actually really done it before. I had a request to do it, so I am trying. Now, if my cat actually breathed that fast, I'd be really worried, but this is a sped up video, so he's actually being quite calm next to me. Orange is always in the mix. So here I'm adding a pink next to the gray. And, I like the way it looks against the blue and green. And this one sort of curves around. There's orange watching. And here's a darker pink. That's just going to go along with it. So you can see that there's two different sides to this shape. And my left hand is not that steady. I can see that I'm, making a couple little mistakes filling them in. So here I'm doing I'm doing gray, a different gray than the last one. So it's going to start with the darker one on top. and then get even darker for the bottom or for the side. I thought about doing the entire thing in gray, but I decided it would be more fun to have some colors. And now for blue. And again, this is a different blue than the first two I used. It's slightly darker or more vibrant, and a much more intense saturated blue. And I like the way it's looking. It's defining the shapes. They look more angular. And, you know, from the drawing, you know, they're swirly. So I think that's, you know, starting to look a little bit like an illusion of a three-dimensional object in a 2D space. I feel like I need to practice this a lot to get the hang of it, though. And maybe use rulers and be more precise. So these two blues are sort of similar. They're a little closer than some of the other colors have been, but you can still see the difference between the top and the side. And I'm using a really light lavender. So choosing the colors took me a few minutes too. Before I did this, I put the markers in little piles next to me so I'd have them handy. And I chose pretty carefully. I didn't want to have too many of one color or to have too many of a lot of colors. I just wanted to keep it sort of calm. Lots of blues and some grays and a little bit of green. And as you'll see, I have a yellow coming up. And I wanted to just to have the one yellow so it would stand out a little bit more. And I really like the way this is working out. I think it's a really pretty design. I was toying with the idea of filling the background in either like a really dark blue or black, but decided to leave it white. I like the airiness of it. I like the way those two yellows work. And again, I'm using a different sort of turquoisey color here. And that's just about that. I know that there's one, the last little one, I had the camera off while I did that by mistake, so sorry about that. You can see the finished result. If you like the video, let me know what you think. And have a fabulous creative day.